Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth. Dentists recommend Sensodyne to their patients. It's able to get inside the tooth and calm the nerve of the tooth down, and the proof's in the results. It works.
Prepare yourself for a new live bet experience. Top minute, boosted live bet odds. Mozart, make a decision.
With Lipa na M-Pesa, you get more, and now you can win.
My name is Edward Opio Oluch from Siaya County. I am a teacher by profession. I am a winner of a house today. Received the call. I felt so happy. My option is to rent it out. Maybe one day work will bring me to Nairobi and I will live here. The promotion is still on. You can still win. The grand finale is yet to come and you can be a winner.
Lipa na M-Pesa and win now. Do more with Lipa na M-Pesa.
Kwani unaenda wapi? Kubai mkate. Utatununulia sweet. Sawa.
Nani amekuzia mkate?
Ni Kenyash.
Umetoa wapi sweet?
Amenipea.
Hebu tuende kwake saa hii.
Ni kama amefunga.
Ati ni kama amefunga. Tuende tukafungue hiyo duka yake. Kenyash, nini mkate gani unauzia mtoto wangu?
Demo chiti yako inakuwa gani?
Hapana, unajua na kujanga hapa na nunua selector. Si unajua hivyo? Na unajifanya hapa mpaka unampatia maswiti.
Huyu mtoto wako amekuja hapa kwa duka, akaniambia nimpatie mkate ya 48 bob. Tu bob za juu nimpatie sweet. Ningefanya nini?
Umenunua sweet hapa?
Selector, more slices na bei ni ile ile.
Beba. Naomba 50-50. Oya kaenda buda.
Shapo mbele na unipe change.
Sawa. Fanya hivi, nipatie alafu nikupatie 80, alafu huyu dem atakupatia 30, alafu ule mzee akinipatia robe yangu na kupatia alafu huyu dem bado ako na yangu, akinipatia na kupatia 80 au narudisha 50. Simple. Sawa. Yeah.
If only all things in life were as simple as 2 bob per minute to any network. Enjoy the best voice rate in Kenya. No bundle, no expiry, no minimum top-up. Now that's simple. Switch to Airtel, the smartphone network.
Taking pride in constructing tomorrow's skylines. Adding strength to Kenya's landmarks. Presenting the power for specialized constructions. Cementing the nation's future. Simba Cement, the strength and pride of Kenya.
Now also produced in Nakuru and Mombasa.
Rashes again? Kiss Kids diapers. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Bye-bye rashes. Buy diapers. Choose Kiss Kids.
Get an 8-acre prime residential plot in Kisamis along Magadi Road, a few minutes from the vibrant Kiserian town. 150,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 175,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers. Pay 30% deposit and clear the balance in 4 months. Join us for a site visit on 29 February 2020. SMS plot to 21595 for more information. Soy merchants, buy today, build tomorrow.
A Family Bank salary account is the ideal personal bank account for employed customers. Open a salary account today and enjoy salary advance of up to 50% of your net salary, access salary loans after 6 months, salary credits and check-off loans with a repayment period of up to 48 months. With no minimum opening balance and no operating balance, open your account today and let this account take care of your finances while at work.
Retirement Benefit Authority is an ISO-certified institution safeguarding your retirement benefits. You do not have to be formally employed to start saving towards your retirement. Anyone earning an income can join an individual pension scheme. Join one today and secure your sunset years. For queries regarding the retirement benefit industry or your pension scheme, please call RBA on toll-free numbers on your screen.
Eldora Technical Training Institute (ETTI) prides itself as a student-centered institution committed to nurturing and growing careers. We offer technical training and market-driven courses at high diploma, certificate and craftsmanship level in the following programs: engineering, building and construction, business administration and commerce, agriculture and animal health, tourism and hospitality management, education, social studies, information communication technology, accounting, banking and finance, medical and health sciences, journalism and mass communication. Enrollment for May and September intakes is ongoing. Apply now. Eldora Technical Training Institute. Growing reputation.
Life is a journey of faith. How you finish depends on how well you prepare for it. I started mine 16 years ago. From childhood, I always believed I can be anything I set my mind to be. But I came to realize each and every aspect of our lives, mine included, has an Isuzu effect behind it. It has always been my third leg. It's reliable, stable, and faithful. My dream is to make Kenya an Isuzu nation.
Drive towards growth with Gulf African Bank and Isuzu. Get 95% Sharia-compliant financing with a bundled working capital of 300,000 shillings. SMS Isuzu to 21981 to get started. For more information, call us on 0711 075 000 or visit us at any of our branches countrywide. Gulf African Bank. We see a better today.
Welcome to Good Life, where we are all about you. And when we say you, we mean all of you, including the little ones. We're all about ensuring you feel better and healthier, so you enjoy every moment with the ones closest to you. A smile on your face is what we're about. That's why you'll always be welcome back to Good Life pharmacies across Kenya with the same smile on every visit. Good Life. We're all about you.
This is NTV.
Underwhelming and sickening are some of the strong words used against statements made by Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Rachel Omamo when she appeared before the Defense and Foreign Relations Committee of the National Assembly. Now, to explain the measures the government has taken against the coronavirus. Tonight, the global emergency is top concern for many in the country, including you and I, and the government seems to be wobbly in its responses. This concern among our stories tonight, but first, let's take a look at the highlights.
Tonight, Kenya's gates still open to Chinese airlines as government vows coronavirus readiness.
We have 11 bed capacity at Kenyatta National Hospital, and I think that is enough for us.
Officials at JKIA Air accuse state of outrightly lying to Kenyans.
What the health ministry is purporting that they were screened and released for self-quarantine, I think that's just a hoax.
Our country is not even prepared for anything, let alone this global disaster.
Also tonight, a dark night in Tasia Estate as illegal power connections are dismantled.
Hii hatujaambiwa, hata mwenye broti haja kuja hapa kutuambia ati iko hivi na hivi.
tumestukia. We are not ready to come and correct the bodies here because of greed.
Plus, the mysterious killing of DP Ruto office cop Kipyegon Kenei increasingly appears to be murder.
I cannot answer you that in 100%, but the thinking is to that line, yes.
And the state's takeover of the capital, Nairobi Assembly to form committee to discuss implications.
The committee must engage the acting county secretary, the state law office, commission on revenue allocation.
Exceptional circumstances, exceptional challenges, then it needs unprecedented decisions and solutions to be found.
Live from the Nation Centre, this is NTV Tonight with Ken Mijungu.
A very, very good evening, and glad you could find time for us tonight. And my co-pilot is David Agondoa. And tonight, the country is exposed to the coronavirus more than the government would like you to know. Various sources who are in direct contact with the situation at the main airport, that's the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and whose versions of the situation are independently aligned, say that they are not trained to handle the situation, do not have the proper protective gear, lack the numbers to effectively handle the situation, and add that to the staff at the airport are living and working in fear for their well-being. In short, they are saying the government is lying to you, as it paints a picture that is only but a mirage. Helen Aura opens our bulletin with the damning revelations.
The reality of 239 passengers on board Southern China Airlines plane disembarking at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on the morning of 26th February 2020 has not only raised concerns but brought to the fore the risk Kenya is exposed to. This comes right from the preparedness or lack of it thereof of the personnel on the ground.
The level of preparedness at JKIA is wanting. This is because one can't really say there is much in place, even for the grooming companies, the person who drives the cargo and the person who ferries the passengers in the buses. The only thing you can say they are provided for are the masks and the latex gloves.
The government says that over 600 personnel have been deployed to attend to the screening, but sources indicate that they are actually about 60 on the ground. They are comprised of only one medical doctor, nurses, clinical officers, and public health officers. The lead on such a situation should be infectious diseases specialists, but there are none in the JKIA team, which is sagging under the weight of understaffing. There are more gates than officials, leaving them very thin and less efficient. With each shift having about 12 people at work, there are lapses where some people gain entry without being screened, and some staff, such as cleaners and helpers of persons with disabilities, access planes without the relevant gear and get back into the airport. It gets worse.
In terms of disaster and epidemic training and drills, we are at zero. We have not been trained for the situation.
This video taken at the airport shows how the screening process is conducted upon arrival at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. An official is seen hurriedly screening passengers. The National Youth Service officials are also at hand to aid in crowd control. They are all masked. But there is a problem. They are all in surgical masks, which do not shield them from getting infected. The ideal masks are called N95 masks or respirators, which are ideal for this case. Sources indicate that there are some in store but are not being issued to everyone. The masks are being issued to staff who are asked to reuse them for about a week, yet they should be discarded after use. In regards to equipment, there are 2 thermal scanners, one of which is not working. There are only 6 thermal guns expected to be used to screen the thousands of travelers, and they are not always at hand to deliver.
We had a case where the thermometers failed to work. They overheated. So even what the health ministry is purporting that they were screened and they were okay to mingle with the people in the societies, the passengers, is just a hoax.
One of the ways of steering clear of the virus is washing of hands and general hygiene. At JKIA, water is switched off at midnight and back on at about 4 a.m. This leaves even toilets without running water to flush or wash hands, facilities that are shared by travelers and staff alike.
NTV has been seeking access to the airport to film the screening process for weeks, but keeps getting ping-ponged to different offices, none of which has granted access. The details in this report, which is not exhaustive of the situation and exposure, may just explain why. Helen Aura, NTV.
Of course, Helen Aura painting the real picture at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. If that's not disturbing, then I don't know what is. Now, that said, despite the glaring loopholes and risks that are there, the government says it will not stop flights from China into the country. Now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Health say they are taking precautions about passengers flying into the country from the Asian state to ensure that they are safe from the virus before allowing them into the country. NTV's Brenda Wanga reports on the state side of the unsettling story.
Despite the uproar caused by the resumption of China Southern Airlines flights into Kenya, the government insists that the country's doors and runways are open to the Chinese airline.
It doesn't mean because somebody is coming from China that they have it. I don't think anybody would want to be labeled that because you come from somewhere, you have this virus and we need to bar you. It's dangerous to do that. Yet, we must always be careful that we are protecting our people as well.
But questions abound as to just how effective that protection is. The passengers of the Chinese flight have been asked to self-quarantine, but the government, it appears, has no concrete way of ensuring that this is happening.
Self-quarantine means he must isolate himself also from the family within the house. He must remain in a particular room and not allow that contact, because that transmission can happen.
The government's fumbling on the coronavirus threat is not limited to the flights, seemingly inadequate screening and implementation of the self-quarantine. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is also under the spotlight for its part in the response to the threat, as Cabinet Secretary Rachel Omamo struggled to explain her ministry's response to parliamentarians.
That flight was dealt with in accordance with WHO guidelines. Those who were on it were monitored and had been asked to self-quarantine.
The government's claim to have isolation centers ready, but it has come to light that the 120-bed capacity ward at Mbagathis Hospital is not even operational and won't be at least for another month. This leaves only the Kenyatta Hospital available for isolation.
In the meantime, we have 11-bed capacity at Kenyatta National Hospital. And I think that is enough for us right now to deal with any situation unless we get an increase in numbers. But we think we can meet that target and have that facility ready.
In the midst of the government's response, the citizens are taking matters into their own hands. Petitions to have the country cancel all flights from China are gaining traction, with thousands of Kenyans appending their signatures to them in a bid to do what the government seems reluctant to do. Brenda Wanga, NTV.
And still on the virus, to date, more than 40 countries globally have been affected by the COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. The World Health Organization now says that the situation is at a decisive point. Now, Kenyans have also expressed their concerns that the government's attitude towards handling of the virus has left us more vulnerable. Other governments are taking the outbreak seriously, with some cancelling major events and closing their borders to the Chinese nationals, as Anita Nkonge now explains.
It's what's happening in the rest of the world that's now our greatest concern. Outside China, there are now 3,474 cases in 44 countries and 54 deaths. We're at a decisive point.
Let's take a look at how other countries across the globe are dealing with the outbreak. On Thursday, Saudi Arabia banned foreign pilgrims from entering the country 5 months before the annual Hajj pilgrimage. This after over 200 cases were confirmed in the Middle East, especially in neighboring Iran. Though the country is yet to announce a case of the virus, authorities say that the ban is temporary. The Egyptian national airliner Egypt Air has also postponed the resumption of flights to China due to the outbreak. The company had first suspended flights to China at the beginning of this month and had said it would resume service from Thursday. Japan has ordered schools nationwide to close until spring holidays begin in late March. Down under, Australia has extended its travel ban on China and enacted its emergency response plan because, according to the Prime Minister, there is every indication the world will soon enter the pandemic phase of the virus. In the USA, President Donald Trump announced that Mike Pence would be in charge of overseeing the nation's response, and in Russia, visitors with official business, humanitarian, and transit visas are the only ones allowed into the country. Russia's entry ban for Chinese nationals is partial and only affects those on tourist, private, student, and work visas. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
And we're still talking about the virus. Members of the Senate have condemned the decision to allow a Chinese airline to land at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The leaders say the decision has put the lives of Kenyans at risk.
If our government wants to take active action, they should open up a receiving bay, either the airport or some area where all these people must be shipped and stay there for a minimum of 14 days.
Our country is not even prepared for anything, let alone this global disaster. Self-quarantine is the first time I'm hearing. And when you go to the doctors, Mr. Speaker, and you given a medication, I've heard of self-medicate. You self-medicate yourself, but I've never heard of self-quarantine.
We really are not serious, because even those who were suspected to have coronavirus, the tests were done in South Africa, not here in Kenya. There is no laboratory in Kenya that can actually successfully depict. So really it's a pandemic, and you can be sure if it has come through these planes or whatever other means, we are more vulnerable as we are as Africans than any other continent in the world. And so therefore the deaths would be more.
The Ministry of Health does not really control the planes that come to this country. So we should have other players, other diplomatic players, foreign affairs, internal security, immigration, to check on these things.
And I was so shocked yesterday, like all Kenyans were shocked, when we saw a plane just touching the ground in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Mr. Speaker, the least that we deserve as a nation is the right to information. Who are we not to prepare instead of allowing a plane just to land and then the staff panic on the runway? Doctors panicked as they saw people walk out leisurely as though they have not come from a dangerous country.
And of course, everyone is concerned. And tonight we also break the myths around the coronavirus. We tell you the facts about it and why you shouldn't panic. Instead, you should concentrate on preventive care and treatment or relief of the symptoms. Now, this may be things you have heard before or not. The main concern right now is those arriving in the country through the airport or the border points. So how effective are the thermal scanners in detecting people infected with the coronavirus? Now, thermal scanners are only effective in detecting people who have developed a fever, which is described as having a high or more than normal body temperature because of infection, not necessarily because of coronavirus. However, thermal scanners cannot detect people who are infected with the virus. And this is because it takes between 2 and 10 days before infected people become sick and, of course, develop the fever to be detected. Then second, are antibiotics effective in preventing and treating the coronavirus? Well, antibiotics do not work against the virus, only bacteria. And as the name implies or suggests, it is a virus. Thus, antibiotics should not be used as a means of prevention or treatment. However, if you are hospitalized, you may receive antibiotics because bacterial co-infections is possible. And there are also any specific medication or medicines to prevent or treat the new coronavirus. It's good to know, to date, there is no specific medicine recommended to prevent or even treat the new coronavirus. However, those infected with the virus should receive appropriate care and relieve and treat the symptoms. And those with severe illness should receive optimized supportive care. Now, this is one of the biggest myths we have had so far about this. The question is, does the coronavirus affect older people, or are younger people also susceptible? Be informed that the people of all ages can be infected by the coronavirus. However, older people and people with a pre-existing medical condition such as asthma, diabetes, heart disease appear to be more vulnerable to becoming severely ill with that virus. And now let's talk about the preventive measures. And since the source of the virus is China, that's where we begin. It's one of the biggest exporting countries of the world. Thousands of goods and items are sent from China and received locally here. It is safe to receive letters or packages from China. Those of you receiving those packages from China are not at any risk of contracting the coronavirus. From analysis, coronavirus does not survive long on objects such as letters or even packages. The other question is, do vaccines against pneumonia protect you against the new virus? Well, vaccines against pneumonia do not provide protection against the virus. This is because the virus is so new and so different that it needs its own vaccine. Researchers are trying to develop a vaccine, and the World Health Organization is supporting that effort. Let's now take a look at the map of the affected areas. And this is the map. Let's pull Africa out of it. As present, the blue parts are the most saturated, and the greater the saturation means how much is in that country. Now, this is a global infection map, and Africa, it shows where you see that Algeria confirmed with 2 cases of the virus so far, and 1 was confirmed in Egypt. Those are the 2 countries in Africa that have confirmed this virus. Now, this information, the whole of this information we've given you tonight is available from the website of the Center for Disease Control, that's CDC, supported by the World Health Organization. And of course, you've heard about the use of the masks. Now, this is something you need to know. If you have a lot of facial hair, the beards, you are more exposed because it prevents the masks from sitting well on your face. So you know that. All right, now to other stories of the day. And thousands of residents of Tasia Estate in Eastlands area right here in the capital will spend the night in darkness after the Kenya Power brought down tens of transformers in the area in an effort to weed out illegal power connections and curb theft of electricity. Now, the move comes the day after the electricity distributor reported a huge drop in profit occasioned by, among other things, stagnating revenues, as Victor Kiprop now reports.
One after another, the transformers were brought down by Kenya Power officials under the supervision of DCI officers, even as residents expressed their fear of the dangers of living in darkness.
Kitu idadhiri, kitu ya kwanza ni security. Security ndio kitu ya muhimu sana. Kama watu wa mama mboga watanyang'anywa pesa mingi sana. Hata mtasikia kuanzia jioni wataanza kunyang'anywa pesa na wajui mahali watatembea namna gani.
Sana mjana mnaona vile mjana iko hapa hakuna kazi. Kazi inakuanga masaa ya jioni. Mkikata stima hapa unajua hakuna mtu atakuja hapa kuona vile unamkatia stima, vile unaosa nini.
In this daring but dangerous scheme, landlords make illegal connections to their premises before asking residents and businesses to pay their rent, inclusive of the power bill, some of which goes to bribing Kenya Power officials who are part of the mega scheme that is now costing the power distributor billions of shillings in lost revenue.
Hii hatujaambiwa, hata mwenye broti acha kucha hapa kutuambia ati iko hivi na hivi. Tumestukia, ni kitu ya mstuko.
Even somebody just even through the connection of all these houses, the way they have been done in vicinity. In the event on anything wrong going out here, we shall come to correct the bodies here. We are not ready to come and correct the bodies here because of greed.
More than 100 Kenya Power employees have already been fired over the illegal connections and other fraudulent activities. Sources inside Kenya Power also tell NTV that employees from a different department are being trained to replace those who normally work in the prepaid services department. All this as the power distributor moves to seal revenue leakages.
A day after reporting a paltry 1% growth in revenues and a whooping 92% drop in earnings, electricity distributor Kenya Power says it will continue sealing revenue loopholes such as these illegal electricity connections, which are estimated to deny it about 20% of its annual revenues.
We are not selling as KPLC, so it's going to affect, or it's actually affecting our bottom line, together with the selling that we are doing.
In the recent past, Kenya Power has been at the center of mega scandals, including billing scams and procurement of faulty transformers that have badly dented its image and hurt the performance of its share price at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Victor Kiprop, NTV.
All right, and on that note, let's take a short break, but let's see what's coming up on the other side.
Oya ni aje, mimi ndo Jonte Fresh. Mimi ndio nimetambulika hii Gikomba yote sekta ya manguo. Jumi transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya bail into the freshest Iggy kosi yote. Siri ni hii Ariel mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Makastoma unaisana na hii story. Ninatumia Ariel touch of down mpya tu.
At Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, our mission is to produce innovators, leaders, entrepreneurs for the region's socio-economic transformation. Our experienced faculty, modern teaching, learning and research facilities, as well as industry-driven curricula, continues to give JKUAT graduates an edge over their peers. Do not wait. Secure your future by visiting our campuses spread across the country, or visit our website to enroll for January, May and September 2020 intake. JKUAT, setting trends in higher education, research, innovation and entrepreneurship.
To feel good, Coca-Cola and food Monday to Sunday. We're all chasing taste. Let's just grab a bite, the excuse to drink Coca-Cola. Every single day. So we feel forever be real. Together stay free whatever. No, we can't stop. We wanna taste the feeling. Nothing can ever bring us down. Taste the feeling.
Eldora Technical Training Institute (ETTI) prides itself as a student-centered institution committed to nurturing and growing careers. We offer technical training and market-driven courses at high diploma, certificate and craftsmanship level in the following programs: engineering, building and construction, business administration and commerce, agriculture and animal health, tourism and hospitality management, education, social studies, information communication technology, accounting, banking and finance, medical and health sciences, journalism and mass communication. Enrollment for May and September intakes is ongoing. Apply now. Eldora Technical Training Institute. Growing reputation.
Mombasa Port Sacco is an award-winning registered deposit-taking sacco offering financial solutions to its members ranging from long-term development loans, agricultural and business loans, Chama loans and numerous savings products with high returns. Mombasa Port Sacco is open to all. Join the award-winning sacco today and realize your dream.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Dettol's main objective is to help children protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold?
No!
They are spread through germs on your hands. Your hands collect germs that causes diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands regularly with Dettol soap that gives the best germ protection ever against many illness-causing germs.
Wash, wash, wash your hands. What you have to do is bath, bath, bath yourself. Dettol soap every day. Wash, wash, wash your hands.
For one day only, get up to 50% off on the Dettol range with free shipping only on the Jumia Super Brand Day. Enjoy this great offer only on the 27th of February 2020.
Agatha.
The one and only.
You could never afford to provide the girls the kind of lifestyle we can offer.
Sure, but not everything in life can be bought with money.
Come on,
wait! She's not Agatha!
Let go of my sister! Let go of Carrie!
Before you start a fight, make sure you're fighting the right person. I can sue you for what you did.
150,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 175,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers. Join us for a site visit on 29 February 2020. SMS plot to 21595 for more information.
NTV Tonight with Ken Mijungu.
And to the developing story right here in County 047. As the debate continues over this week's transfer of some county government functions to the national government, the Nairobi County Assembly says it will set up a committee to discuss the implication of that move. Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa has also welcomed the Council of Governors' backing of the new leadership roles in the capital, calling upon the senators to embrace the initiative, as Seth Olale now reports.
The public participation involving the transfer of governance of 4 key departments from Nairobi County government to national government has begun in earnest through the Nairobi County Assembly. Speaker Beatrice Elachi has directed formation of an ad hoc committee within 14 days.
For avoidance of doubt, the committee must engage the county secretary, the acting county secretary, the state law office, Commission on Revenue Allocation, the Ministry of Devolution, and the Senate, amongst others.
Senate Minority Leader James Orengo had warned against the deal skipping the required process before being implemented.
When there's a transfer of power from the national government to the county assembly, to the county government, it is the National Assembly which is informed. And when it is from the county government to the national government, is the county assembly which is informed. Nothing about the Senate.
While on a tour in Wajir County, Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa, whose ministry will spearhead and coordinate the transfer of the roles from Nairobi County to the national government, thanked the Council of Governors for welcoming the move, adding that his ministry will reach out to the Senate for clarification.
Nairobi is facing exceptional circumstances, exceptional challenges. Then it needs unprecedented decisions and solutions to be found.
Similarly, the national government can also give some of its functions to us. Correct. For example, right now, security is a big challenge here in Wajir and in northern Kenya as a whole.
Apart from the Nairobi County Assembly, other stakeholders involved in the public participation have at least 7 days to deliberate on the deal and give their recommendations. Seth Olale, NTV at the Nairobi County Assembly.
Right, to crime now, and the DCI detectives are still at work trying to establish how the late police sergeant Kenei, attached to the Deputy President Ruto's office, died. Chief Government Pathologist Dr. Johansen Oduor, who visited the crime scene for the first time, confirmed that Kenei died inside his Imara Daima house, where his body was found about a week ago. Detectives will be using phone triangulation to establish which individuals could have been around the area where Kenei lived during the last 2 days before his body was found. Mel Nyando has been following the story and has an update for us.
Chief Government Pathologist Dr. Johansen Oduor, the family pathologist from late Sergeant Kipyegon Kenei's family, and the DCI's Crime Scene Support Services are not convinced that the late administration police officer committed suicide. They say it may have possibly been a homicide.
I cannot answer you that in 100%, but the thinking is to that line, yes.
A day after Kenei's autopsy was conducted and a report released, the team camped at his Villa Franca estate house to critically examine the scene. They concluded that the officer died inside his house where the body was found.
We think that was the primary scene where everything happened from what you've seen. However, remember, there are other things which are coming up.
The visit comes exactly a week after the body of Sergeant Kenei was found. He was attached to Deputy President William Ruto's Harambee House Annex Office and was the head of security. The experts further examined the road from the gate to Kenei's house, a distance of about 100 meters. The detectives have also sought the assistance of mobile service providers. Part of the ongoing investigations is the analysis of the deceased officer's phone transactions and communication data, as well as money transfer. Kenei's autopsy report established that the cause of death was a single contact gunshot wound that entered through the chin and exited on the forehead. No other bruises or wounds were identified.
Pathologists and detectives took about 5 hours combing through the crime scene here at Villafranca Estate in Imara Daima. It may take yet again more time as lab samples have been taken to the DCI ballistics unit for it to be established whether late Sergeant Kipyegon died from suicide or homicide. Mel Mieno, NTV at the Imara Daima Estate in Nairobi.
Right, that's a developing story with fresh details each day, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we get more details. And the heavy rains are back. Close to 1,000 families in Nyando constituency, that's in Kisumu County, have been displaced by floods caused by increased water levels on Lake Victoria. The waters have damaged more than 500 homes, forcing the residents in those places such as Kadhiambo, Nduru, Ombaka and Ogenya to flee their homes. So Kokusa with that report.
The flooding is said to have started in November last year.
So right now, a good number of people have been displaced. We have pupils that were supposed to be going to school at Rosette Primary School. They've been taken to Dunya Primary School, the nearby school. Learning at that school has been paralyzed completely. Homes have been damaged.
Poor sanitation, lack of sufficient food, and exposure to harsh weather conditions have made life in the affected areas unbearable.
Tunaumia na watoto, tuwezi peleka hata watoto hospitali. Masoko siwezi enda, biashara yetu amesimama, masamaki anaoza kwa barini. Barabara ni mbaya kabisa, serikali tusaidie sisi.
Kwa sasa hivi pia watu wa Kisumu County pia wamegoma. Watu wakiwa wagonjwa hapa tutakuwa na shida, kuna mahali penye wataelekea. Sasa ni shida chungu nzima. Serikali ya juu ama ile ya kitaifa itushughulikie.
The furious residents have accused both the county and the national governments of neglecting them at their greatest hour of need.
Hakuna juhudi yoyote serikali ameshachukua. Hata MC yetu hajakuja hapa. Hata mbunge yetu atakuja hapa. Hata county government yoyote. Hakuna ofisa yoyote ameshakuja kwa hii sehemu.
The residents say that the last time they experienced a calamity of such a magnitude was way back in 2014. And then the county government back then came to their help and constructed dikes that prevented the waters from inundating their homes. Those who have fled their homes have sought refuge at shopping centers, schools, church compounds, and in homes belonging to their relatives. Okokusa, NTV, Kisumu.
Right, the rains are back and everywhere is getting flooded, and the projection is not good. There could be even further damages because of the heavy rains. But time for a short break. Coming up on the other side is business with Dan Mwangi. Dan is here. I don't know what you're talking about, but what concerns a lot of Kenyans is the revelations from the SGR bill.
Yeah, and Kenya Railways responded to, the reports have been on the media and even defended the 1 billion shilling grass. Let's just say they are also going green.
Explaining it differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have this and more on Business. Stay tuned.
To the out-of-framers, the turtleneckers, the fringe growers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel. Join the millions that have switched to Dettol Even Tone, now also in pomegranate fragrance, a healthier skin for an even better you. Brought to you by the Kenya Consortium of Medical and Health Professionals. Dettol, be 100% sure.
For one day only, get up to 50% off on the Dettol range with free shipping only on the Jumia Super Brand Day. Enjoy this great offer only on the 27th of February 2020.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
What do you see on the horizon? They say how you start your decade will determine how the rest of it will be. Imagine a decade full of opportunities, investment being one of them. Do you want a place to feed your mind, body and soul? A place to unwind every day? Where you can get your health and fitness goals attained? A secure place for your family? A center for quality academic goals for your kids? Or perhaps a place to connect with your friends? Well, you can get all this and more at Amani Ridge, the place of peace, just 20 kilometers from the CBD. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
Heaviness and a burning inside, it could be heartburn.
Indigestion and heartburn? Eno gets to work in 6 seconds and works on the 6 symptoms of heartburn so you can keep living life non-stop. Eno, fight heartburn and indigestion fast.
Runner Auction Drive. Runner Auto Selection Limited, importers of selected motor vehicles, introduces 100 newly imported cars on auction. Visit our Kisumu, Eldoret and Nairobi branches and drive away with a brand new motor vehicle at the lowest prices. 27th February, Kisumu. 28th February, Eldoret. 29th February, Nairobi. We shall also be having auctions in Kisumu every Thursday starting from 20th February. For more inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0701 777 779. Runner Auto Selection. Your choice, your success.
Inakwambia bibi kuna mdenge fulani bibi hapo na nywele refu yani. Kuna ngoko fulani bibi amemechali yake hadi Sio ndio madonna na kutupinya mtu mbao. Mimi nimemjenga dhao gari ilikuwa salasa akaniambia nimjenge 17 hapa tena 30 yangu.
The way this position is tiring. Nimechoka. What's that?
Ni shosho fulani hapa hivi.
Ati shosho.
Call for long at 1 shilling 50 cents to all networks.
Cartelo.
Dial star 544 hash to subscribe. Telcom, moving with you.
Prepare yourself for a new live bet experience. Top minute, boosted live bet odds. Mozart, make a decision.
Good evening and welcome to NTV Business. Dan Mwangi is my name. Now, finally, someone in government is talking about the controversial standard gauge railway construction contract which Kenya signed with a Chinese company in the year 2012. Kenya Railways Managing Director Philip Mainga, who was not even a signatory, says the amounts quoted in the contract were within acceptable limits and even defends the 1 billion shillings expenditure purchase of grass. Leila Mohammed is still on the SGR beat and fact-checks the Kenya Railway statement on the country's most expensive project.
$1 billion shillings for planting grass along the railway line. That's what the contractor charged the taxpayer. But now Kenya Railways argues this was a fair price. According to the corporation, the amount also catered for landscaping. The contract also clearly indicates that 239 million shillings was set aside for the entertainment of Chinese engineers building the railway. Mainga now says entertainment here means something else. It has nothing to do with wining and dining, but it denotes construction of lounges and waiting areas for passengers. The first phase of the SGR, according to Maringa, incorporated 20,000 Kenyan workers, 2,247 Chinese workers, with 151 Kenyan engineers and 44 Chinese engineers. Mainga also notes that the 5 million shillings airtime bill stretched for a 3-year period and catered for all the 165 engineers, both Kenyan and Chinese nationals.
Congratulations.
Working at various camps along the railway line. 57 million shillings was used to furnish offices, residences of the engineers and also purchase survey equipment for all the 9 construction units of the first phase of the SGR. In the bill of quantities, 2 cadres of engineers were expected to be provided with furnished accommodation. 10 units for Type 1 engineers cost 3,074,211.75 cents a piece, and Type 2 employees were factored into 20 units at 2,818,027 shillings a piece. Maringa says that over 1,000 local suppliers were brought on board the SGR and provided material, equipment and machinery.
404 local subcontractors were also part of the gravy train. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
Interesting developments. Now let's get from the rails to the air, and the board of the national flag carrier Kenya Airways has appointed Alan Kilavuka as the group's managing director and chief executive officer. That is effective April 1st, 2020. It's not an April Fool's joke. Now this comes just 2 months after he assumed the role in acting capacity. Now, in a statement to newsrooms, the board chairman, Michael Joseph, says the board is banking on Kilavuka's experience in Kenya's business environment, which spans 23 years, to steer KQ out of financial headwinds. Kilavuka will now join the boards of all subsidiary companies and retain his position on the Jumbo Jet board, where he will be present as CEO until March 31st, 2020, after which he will serve as representative of Kenya Airways. Kilavuka takes over from Sebastian Mikosh, who quit before the end of his contract. Commercial banks are now adopting more flexible loan terms in a bid to woo micro, small and medium enterprises as competition after the repeal of the interest rate caps tightens. In the latest arrangement, Family Bank has now entered a partnership with Simba Corporation, providing 95% asset financing with a 60-month repayment period as it targets the market segment looking to enhance its logistics capabilities. The new product comes at a time when lending to the private sector is recovering after a period of subdued growth during the capping of commercial bank interest rates.
We've just concluded the SME conference this week, Monday, Tuesday, and these are some of the things that came out quite strongly in that conference, that the SMEs will look forward to a lot of support in terms of financing that makes sense for them.
The model that we sold for 22 years, which has made history in this country, the FH215, we've sold about 14,500 units, and that has been a record even for Fuso outside Japan, that Kenya is the only country where one model was assembled locally and sold in the number of 14,500.
37.5 million shillings is the sum designated for distribution as royalties to members of the Music Copyright Society of Kenya, that's MCSK, for the 6 months that ended on December 31st, 2019. Now, of this amount, 22.5 billion shillings, or 60%, will be distributed based on the amount of airplay received by the artists, with the remaining 15 million shillings, or 40%, designated for general distribution to all members. This marks a departure from the widely condemned flat rate of 2,500 shillings distributed as royalties by the society in mid-2019. In his address to the nation on January 14, 2020, President Uhuru Kenyatta directed that all payments of royalties should be channeled through a single centrally managed account at the Kenya Copyright Board, a move he said would increase the amount distributed from an average of 200 million shillings per annum to 2 billion shillings. That is tenfold.
From today, we are rolling out with scientific distribution, which is what they have been desiring over a long period of time, as opposed to what we call general distribution that goes equally to every artist.
Unajua last time kila mtu alipata the same amount. This time ina depend venye una get airplay, radio ngapi ziukicheza, kauli register pia. Ndio kuna watu wengine wanatoa tu ngoma alafu wana assume utalipwa tu bora uko na ngoma na uja register.
Through the MOU that we signed, the 3 CMOs and the ICT Ministry, together with Kekobo, we were asked to leave some percentage for the upcoming artists whose songs may not be having airplay.
Some good music right there. Now we take a look at financials. All the way from the railway tracks down to the story on the music tracks and on to financials. That's business. We are done. Business and Life.
Hanging out, it's my summer, got my squad. We go harder, we got a little bit of feel good now. It's my better, that's my flavor. All I wanna do, all I wanna do, everything is fine. All I wanna, let's have a little bit of feel good now. Be myself, that's my secret. Stop and chill, best believe it. This is the weekend, so we're getting down. Let's have a little bit of
Drive towards growth with Gulf African Bank and Isuzu. Get 95% Sharia-compliant financing with a bundled working capital of 300,000 shillings. SMS Isuzu to 21981 to get started. For more information, call us on 0711 075 000 or visit us at any of our branches countrywide. Gulf African Bank. We see a better today.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizorb technology to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
Drive towards growth with Gulf African Bank and Isuzu. Get 95% Sharia-compliant financing with a bundled working capital of 300,000 shillings. SMS Isuzu to 21981 to get started. For more information, call us on 0711 075 000 or visit us at any of our branches countrywide. Gulf African Bank. We see a better today.
Leading edge, future-oriented, trustworthy platform.
Well, the news continues right here on NTV tonight, and lawyers from across the country went to the ballot today to choose the next president of the Law Society of Kenya. Nelson Andanyi Havi will be the next president for the lawyers' body for the next 2 years. This, however, happened against a backdrop of accusations that the society has lost its teeth. LSK has over the years been accused of losing the vibrancy and the radical approach with which it fought for democracy and the rule of law in the country, something many attribute to tribalism and bad politics. Silas Apollo reports.
For over 20 years, the Law Society of Kenya was at the center of the fight to uphold the rule of law in the country and draft a new constitution. So radical was the society that some of its early leaders and members like Paul Muite, James Orengo, Makau Mutua, Gibson Kamau Kuria and others were either jailed or forced into exile. But over time that aggressiveness seemed to have either been substituted with favors from the government of the day or muzzled.
The LSK has a metamorphosed over the years, and sometimes, very unfortunately, it has also taken national country dynamics It has also shifted somehow with the politics of the day and issues of the day and the legal framework changes of the day.
In the last 10 to 15 years, there has been a very cozy relationship between the members of the Council of the Law Society and the government of the day.
If you look at the LSK of Paul Mwite and Dr. John Gibson Kamau Kuria, they were agitating for constitutional reforms and political reforms. Now the LSK of post-2020, like now the council that we have now, the one you are voting in, is going to struggle with how to ensure compliance with the rule of law.
For others, the leadership of the LSK has become moribund and out of touch with the issues of the day.
We have seen the leadership of the Law Society of Kenya being awarded state commendations. We have seen the Law Society of Kenya being given handouts to sit and compromise, not only on matters of lawyers, but also matters of this nation.
With other voices citing a lack of mentorship, especially for the emerging crop of young and aggressive lawyers keen on taking over leadership.
A lot of times we find people interested in the bag of leadership and forgetting the baggage, because the bag of leadership is the position. The baggage is what they do with that position.
Over 10,000 practicing advocates were expected to vote in today's election. With opinions still divided on the gains made by the Law Society of Kenya over the years, lawyers here contend that today's election perhaps marks the beginning of a new and vibrant LSK going into the future. Silas Apollo, NTV.
All right, 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Another break, and sports is next with Brian Otwal, who is just standing here. Brian.
Yes, a lot to expect in sports indeed, and also coronavirus affecting sports. We'll tell you who and what sports disciplines are affected so far.
All right, that after the short break. Stay with us.
Yep.
Molfix breathable surface developed with airsoft technology is very soft and provides the best Molfix skincare.
I've found the best diaper for my baby's sensitive skin.
All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Breastfeeding tips for new mothers. Anticipate your baby's desires. You can anticipate their needs by watching for a few telltale signs. Get comfortable while nursing. The constant squirming and moving on your part can disrupt your baby's breastfeeding.
Kiss Kids diapers. Kiss Kids. No rashes. Kiss Kids. No rashes. Bye-bye rashes. Bye diapers. Choose Kiss Kids.
Agatha.
The one and only.
You can never afford to provide the girls the kind of lifestyle we can offer.
Sure, but not everything in life can be bought with money.
Come on,
wait!
She's not Agatha! My sister! Let go of Carrie! Before you start a fight, make sure you're fighting the right person. I can sue you for what you did.
150,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 175,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers. Join us for our site visit on 29 February 2020. SMS plot to 21595 for more information.
NTV Sport in association with Mozart Bet. SMS NTV to 29990.
Let's have a look at the day's sports news. Welcome, my name is Brian Otwal. We start from Senegal, where hit squad captain Nick Okoth is the only Kenyan boxer who has qualified for the Tokyo Olympic Games so far, after edging out Ugandan Isaac Masembe in the featherweight semi-final bout. Okoth won 4-1 in split decision to make his second appearance at the Olympic Games since 2008 and will take on Zambian Evaristo Mulenga in the final on Saturday for the gold or silver medal. Kenya also has a chance of qualifying another boxer, with Commonwealth Games bronze medalist Christine Ongare taking on Uganda's Catherine Nanziri in the flyweight box-off on Friday. Ongare lost to Rabab Cheddar from Morocco in the semi-final clash. Elizabeth Akinyi and Elia Joey's hopes of qualification were dimmed as they lost their semi-final bouts.
Decision. Yeah, that could be for him in a room together.
And Kenya's representatives at the Africa Table Tennis Olympic qualifiers will be hoping to bounce back in their second round of matches on Friday after losing their opening matches in Tunisia. Top seed Brian Mutua lost 4-0 to Sahid Idowu of Congo in sets of 11-3, 11-8, 11-9 and 11-7 in the men's singles clash. Kenya's second seed top Josiah Wandera went down 4-0 to ITTF Africa Top 16 Cup runner-up Aruna Quadri of Nigeria in the first match of Group 1 men's singles. Wandera must now beat Bianatiki Christ of Congo to stay in contention in the qualification. Doreen Juma lost 4-0 to Tunisia's Abir Haj Salah in the women's singles Group 2 match, with Lydia Setei going down to Jalim Nandeshere of Mauritius in Group 1 tie. And World Athletics has ratified Bridget Kosgei's world record that was set at the Chicago Marathon on the 13th of October last year. Kosgei smashed Paula Radcliffe's mark by 81 seconds to set a new record of 2 hours, 14 minutes and